question. Then it will give you time to add. How long will you take to produce the conversations?
You know, we have we have noted that you did not give it due diligence or due importance in following up to those 4 facilities as to why they are not treating our staff. And that I just wanted you to respond, you know, on the hand side, because your boss is seeing you, the Honorable Governor. He's seeing you on how you're responding to these issues. And maybe himself, he does not know that the workers of Wazingishu are not getting treatment from MTRH, from, you know, maybe he does not know. So please tell him.
And when address just through the chair. You're addressing the chair, not the governor.
When addressing the same chair, I think I said about English. When they say some facility, you know, they need to say.
Remember, you feel it is most of the facilities. You
not most. Main health facility or service provider are not taking care of our employees. Main, not just some. They are main health facility.
Also, Chair. Also, through the chair, I want to, out of all this discussion, I think the department has done their best to ensure that they have raised the
I think that is a parting shot. Honorable member, kindly.
It's a point.
Yes, can you give the point without...
how have you classified that it's
you are not asking me a question. Kindly give your point.
My point is this. Now that you've written a lot of concerns to the service provider, in your own informed opinion, what can you say about it? Are we heading to settling dispute or getting an arbitrator, or what do you think is the best way to deal with this issue? Because you've done your best by sending reminding letters, concerns, and another question. You say quarterly meetings. I'm trying to understand this section 27, whereby you say it's agreed that the service provider shall arrange quarterly meetings for review. And in the first meeting, it was not even the quarter. It was on 12th August. What is the quarter in this agreement, in this contract? I thought it was after every 3 months or every month. And then again, when is the next quarter? You see, because you did the first one on 12th August. Now, when are you likely to have another quarter? Because I know the reason why I'm asking about that. Because in this contract, there are some things whether it was done deliberately or not.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
We are yet to know.
You've been heard. Well, let us not
And
repeat
when
ourselves.
answering, and when answering, they should be live to the fact that we are also covered with insurance. And for the last 15 years in this house, the so-called quotas and whatever, I've never had.
It is 12 years, not 15 years. For answered information, it is 12 years you've been in this house. Honorable Member, if I'm not wrong, 2013 to that is 12 years. Your limits, limits.
I am counting you as a kajora.
Yes.
What I'm saying is,
Honorable members,
please allow
honorable members,
just to attack
no. Order, honorable members, so that we don't repeat ourselves. We've had serious concerns, and you've tried the level best to communicate to Trident on the letters. Seemingly, they are not abiding. What the CEC member is reading is information from the users. Those are the workers. He's saying if you go to these hospitals, you'll get an improved service. But we have not had a written communication as per the complaint that as of today, Trident has written to you that through your letters, in reference to the letters that you wrote, they have not written back, responded to you that we have done this much. What they want to adhere to, they want to adhere to 2 things. One, that you pay as agreed. 2, they held their quarterly briefings and sensitization to the users. That is what they have been included. You're still having a crisis on formal response. You have not had formal response. So the clauses in agreement is well stipulated that in failure of that, you appoint an arbitrator. Right? Right? So are you in any process preparing yourself for that without, if they don't adhere to your communications formally, so that we have a binding communications? Madam CEO, so that you come to...
Thank you, Chair. From our contract, let me refer to section 42, which is interrelated to section 10, section 4. Chair, I can tell this House that we've been a bit slow on trying to terminate Trident, because as by the contract agreement on section 4, it says that the first installment to be paid in July 2024, which was, the contract was signed on 22nd of July, which was just 7 days to the end of that month. And Chair,
payment was to be made on?
We took a bit longer to pay that because of the exchequer delay, and we did pay. The payment was made on 11th of October. October.
How many months down the line? So you preached your applications?
Somehow, and then
no, on the CO. It's either yes or no.
Yes, we prayed from our side.
Be mindful of the language herein.
Chair, we delayed on payment.
Yes.
Yes.
So you preached the obligations.
We did. We were the
Yes.
first one
Proceed.
to preach it.
Proceed.
And we thought maybe that was one of the things which was hindering service delivery. Afterwards, Chairman, we did paid on 11 October, and we expected them to have settled their scores with the other hospitals. And any other time, we conducted the service provider through the conducts they had provided, the 2 conducts.
Yes.
They were telling us that they were still onboarding the hospitals.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Chair.
you. I think members, we are winding up.
But we did requisition
not
on
yet,
time. The problem was the delay in exchequer.
Yes. Members, I think you now you go for a round of your concerns so that we wind up as the answer. Please, we are time bound. The other respondent is 15 minutes away, and we need a 10 minutes break. Honorable Muya.
Thank you. You know, I was keenly listening. You know, we don't fight with Waziri. For a long time, you know, as an assembly, we resonate. But whatever we were how we were communicating during our interaction, and whatever he's reading, I'm seeing a disconnect. So my concern is that write-up from his office, or it was written elsewhere for him to read?
Member, we ruled out these communications because they are not formal, and they could not provide a voice recording on the same. So we have our report right on that. And
because whatever he was reading, I was asking myself.
That is the honorable member.
Is a different person that I was engaging.
Let us raise that matter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chair.
Honorable Amos. Then we come to Chepkonga. Then Honorable DS.
Thank you, Chair.
You have a burning issue? You should have raised, you've been the speaker and you don't know how to raise a point of order. Always you've been raising point of orders to you.
Yeah, saying that there was a question you posed to them about the issue of communication through telephone.
Yes.
And the director, I hope, said that he's going to provide. But I've heard your question. I've heard your conclusion saying that you have not provided. So I don't know whether they have come to that conclusion that they are not providing or...
Since I did ask Honorable Member...
Even if they provide this
money, Honorable Muya, I'm answering.
We are live to Goldenberg issue.
Yes.
We can't rely on the issue of phone calls. How? This government.
Yes. Honorable, I'm aware, Honorable DS, that if in any case there's an audio provisions, he should have arranged with my clerk, but since then he has not arranged to give. So that has not been provided. It has not been provided. Honorable Jepkonga.
Thank you, Chairman. I am. There is a clause that said that if there conflict arises between Trident and the government,
Yes.
then there is another body called arbitrators.
Arbitrator. It
who
is
should-
provided. It is here.
who should come in.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to follow. Will the arbitrators come and negotiate the breach of contract or the managerial issues, the administrative issues? I just wanted to get that. Because unless they are telling us that what is there is administrative issues, then I will allow them to go the arbitrator.
way.
But if it is the breach of contract, Jesus Christ, why are we still here at this time?
Thank you, Honorable Member. It is well stipulated in the articles that if there is a breach of contract, the department concerned can discharge the contract on merit. On merit, and that must be quoted. On merit means when it meets all the applications have not been made. Honorable Amos.
Thank you, Chair. My question on the meaning of quota in this agreement refers to when, what, how many months, or within what? That one has not been answered. And number two, when you look at this contract, I'm so concerned about this contract. And now I wish you could get the legal counsel from your hand to advise us on what he understood in this agreement. Because when you look at the process of maybe handling issues and concerns, Section 41, it talks about settlement of disputes. And it has given some provisions, like if in case of any dispute, a resolution, when you look at it, parties shall use the best efforts to settle amicable all disputes arising. I don't know whether settling of dispute can again be referred as, what is the difference between settling a dispute and terminating a contract? I don't know what is the relationship, because in case of any dispute like non-compliance, non-performance, non-payment, can we say a dispute has arisen? And again, the same agreement provides for termination of contract. You see, so this one, you are binding, you are saying you cannot terminate a contract unless you have exhausted all avenues that has been provided in this, in this contract. You can imagine that now we are in the half of the financial year. You see? Can you see the practical part of it? Should we resort, or should the department resort to terminating this contract? First, a dispute resolution, a dispute should be, an arbitrator should be appointed. You can imagine how long it will take. After that, now you can resolve to terminate by giving 30 days notice. You can imagine it will be March or April, and the game is
60
over.
days, it is another 60 days.
Can you help us to understand what is the meaning of quota in this agreement?
Kindly, Honorable Member, I want to impute that, or I just ask the quota issue. The quota is how long? Quarter of a financial year? Or
That's 3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
It's a quarter of financial year.
Yes.
That tells you that it should have been between July.
So, because this the
September?
contract started on 22nd of July.
July.
So we can say we are with still, it's still 3 months from the start of, so by 22nd of this month. Yes.
And they've paid. Thank you. I want to also
And then,
to
Chair,
impute
maybe
on
I'll-
the same, I want some input on the second question that he asked, that Honorable Member, while you are away in our first sitting, we agreed with members hearing that on the matter of discharge of this contract and the matter of arbitration, concerning also the time limits, we will be having the legal representative to answer those questions from their end. We'll be having the legal for both ends so that we dispense that matter. Because I know we can ask them and we don't get answers relevantly. So,
Chair, I have our last one for the director.
share something, then you come back to.
Yes, Chair, again, we noticed that the matter was handled in the assembly, so we could not go ahead and form that committee.
Because it was under jurisdiction.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
And then
So
lastly,
it
Chair,
is asked to handle on that the legal part of it.
There is that last question, Chair.
Yes.
We've got a committee which is called on reimbursement of the money used by the employees. We have a committee called advisory committee. Whenever our employee brings the receipts and all the others, the matter is with them. They discuss, they do the fact finding and establish if it is true that the member used that money so that they can be paid. They recommend to the insurance and compel them to pay.
How many have you done, sir? How many have been
We've
paid?
heard director can shed light on that. Kindly.
Chair, yes, we've received.
Started with when the committee was formed. How many complaints have you received? How many have you discharged? Proceed.
Chair, our advisory committee is it is a committee. It's not formed basically for this purpose only, but to address matters arising from staff that requires interpretation at the high-end level. So this committee is chaired by the CS, and it comprises of members who are chief officers and myself as the director, HR as the secretary. So what happens is on matters that require advisory, we place before that committee, and then it is assessed. So for the refunds, that committee has to approve. And once it approves, then we forward to insurance and compel the insurance to pay because we have a running contract with them. So any staff who has used his or her money in medication, we will compel the insurance to reimburse. And we have asked the staff that in matters in areas where they have had issues and the insurance has not complied, then whatever amount they have used will be refunded.
How many? You've just asked how many.
No, we've received 2 so far, and the committee is yet to sit. So once the CS convenes a meeting, then it will be discussed.
Does the committee have rules and regulations on,
Yes.
on when after complaint? How long do they take to sit?
It's among other issues that will be deliberated at once. So we normally have issues that are discussed, and it is minuted. So I compile them and forward to the advisory for discussion.
Thank you. So,
I had one for the director.
yes, I am coming for you. Proceed, proceed.
Through the chair, I hope the director has been a director even before the Trident issue. And I did hear him that he had tried calling, which is never substantiated anywhere, written letters that I have seen 2, emails that does not reach to the CEO level or the CEC. If he has been in that office, even previously, is this scenario common to him, or this one it has come, we can categorize it as a notorious case that is also going out of hands for him because you have given somebody a contract, but you are being called once and again to push them to do their work. How does it, what can he tell this committee? Because he has been handling on a personal level.
Is it a practice that has been there? You are an HR expert.
Yes, Chair, and I'm a certified HR practitioner.
Yes, give
and
us.
This any matters employee,
Yes.
it goes through my office. And Chair, in terms of this issue of medical, I think just to let the committee understand, or the Honorable House to note, it's not the first instance that we are having issues with medical. We've just come from an instance where we are writing letters to hospitals, which was a very bad experience. to all of. If they cannot listen to you, you go there in person to go and ensure that the staff has been attended to. So by having this insurance in place, we thought it will sort our issues. And chair, as the chair of the implementation committee, we do periodic meeting. And as you had raised that issue on why there is a difference between what we are reporting now and our implementation minutes. We did our implementation minutes the very first month. Immediately we got the contract. And we raised those issues. And what we do as an implementation committee, we forward our recommendation to the chief officer to forward to the insurance. So we don't deal directly on our minutes. We forward to the chief officer, which was forwarded to Trident.
Make your answer a bit shorter. Are you comfortable with the scenario, or you are also tired about it?
Honorable Muya, that you are asking for a parting shot.
Yeah.
I think.
You know why I'm asking that?
Yeah, that is it.
I have been here.
Chairman,
Chair.
let us take very good care
Yeah.
of the English they are using. When he says we forward, it's like they are looking for a locomotive
You know,
to take the
Chair.
report to the CEO
Or the
to be
honorable member.
transported
They can be forwarded in soft
on a low
copy.
bed.
Chair,
Honorable
I
Moya,
will not
let me
pick
come
another
clear
mic.
to you.
Let me finish.
For you, I have nothing wrong with you, honorable member. Honorable member is just asking, has this been the practice of informal communications? Because he's questioning the issue of phone calls, and he understands written documents as a medium of communication in management, so that you have evidence. The members are asking, are you contended with such practice, or you give your answer that you are not in this arena you are in? Are you contended, or you find it awkward?
Chair, I think in terms of reaching out to these hospitals, as the director of HR, I'm in touch with most of these, actually sorry to use that
Make your work
chair.
very short.
But, because they are our service providers. And even before we started this contract, we had an agreement with them also when we were doing the letters. So I talk with them on a daily basis.
So
And the
they have
issues
just said, are you comfortable with the scenario or not?
No, I'm not comfortable,
Thank
Chair.
you.
And
Thank
the
you.
issue is this,
That is
Chair.
enough.
The explanation you've done it since the other sittings.
I want to help him by telling him, I have been here. Now you have had for 12 years. But if you go to the HR's office, she will tell you that whatever you are undergoing, I think is beyond. Because if you have given somebody a contract, why should you also follow him or her to provide what is supposed to be provided? Therefore, I think you have also encouraged it. Or the county executive does not have power to take an insurance with muscle that can take care of our employees. Because if county assembly
And
have taken the
that is why, honorable member, if the children of a home sees that the father does not deliver, they'll ask the uncle to help them. Yeah, so they have come to the uncle.
Honorable Chair,
Kindly let us deal with the matter.
him. Chairman, let's be fair to him. He said he has told us that he's not comfortable, but I wanted to ask, is there another way, or this is the normal pressure, work pressure?
Honorable Chair, honorable member, it is us to provide the other way. They have sought.
If he has,
The petitioners have
maybe
sought.
he has another way he wishes to, but
Yeah,
he's,
no. Let us not go far. Time is on. It is this house to provide the other way. Yeah.
Maybe I can
Wasiri,
add.
we want to give you, honorable members, we're up on time. And that is, it will be part of, as he comes in with final remarks, he'll give that information. I want to ask from the members for their final remarks, then I'll go to executive. We wind up with our time. The other team has arrived, and we need to start up again. Honorable DS.
I wanted to know when we get a service provider as a county, what are the processes of communication? Will we be dealing with the person who won the contract alone, or you sometimes engage in other activities of also going to an extent of implementation? Such that when complaints are there, you are only dealing with Trident, but not taking your complaints to MTRH maybe, or taking your complaints to the hospitals that have concern. The mode of communication when a service provider has been sourced to inform me in future when doing my reports.
Any other member? Honorable Kering, do you have a word for the team?
Asante Chair. Mimi kuongezea, tangu nimeingia asubuhi nimekaa, nimepikwa na butwaa chair, sababu wafanya kazi ni wetu, nafanya jimbo la Uasin Gishu, pia wasaidizi katika ofisi ya gavana, members wenzetu. Na maisha ya binadamu si kama baiskeli ama gari linalokuwa na spare, maana kwamba vile mimi kwa mafikirio ya zangu ama yangu, kwa kama kulikuweko na shida na mwenye alion contract, kuwa aliandikiwa mabarua hakujibu, muda bado lipo ama iko, mbona wahusika wasichukue kwa haraka, atafute kama kutakuweko na kwa maongezi, kama kutakuweko, kama alitakuwa wangelikuwa wameshapika kengele kwa mambo si mazuri. So mwenyekiti, kwangu mimi naona ya kwamba maneno kulishaharibika kitambo. Penye tuko sasa kutafuta dawa kwa wenzetu ambao ni wafanyakazi watapokea huduma kwa hospitali vizuri namna gani. Kwangu mimi naona wenzangu, waheshimiwa wenzangu, mnapoteta mnatupotezea muda ya kwamba tungelienda kama lunch, turudi tumalizane na ya waliopaki, alafu mwisho tuangalie ya kwamba tutaandika report namna gani, na hiyo ndio dawa, kuonesha ama kufa.
Asante mheshimiwa, umetoa rusuku ya wakati na tutazingatia haya. Mheshimiwa mwingine aliyo mwenye ako na usemi, kama bado, kama sioni mheshimiwa yote, waja niruhusu director kama kuna jambo. Your prayer, what is your prayer, director?
Yes,
we are no longer in questions, eh?
Yes, Chair.
We are done, we are in our prayers. We have you have documents or everything with us.
Yes, Chair, I think as my concluding words are, as you know, we had, I think we mentioned this, that we had a very good policy. When we contracted this service provider,
Whose policy?
and gave us very good policy, we were certain that we are going to have value for money for our staff.
Yeah.
Now, in our initial implementation stage, we noted those issues, and we've been hoping that the contractor could really address those issues, because we didn't want to have employees having problems all through. So we raised, there are some that they have tried to address, like the issues of sub-limits and the issues of delays. However, the issue of hospitals being onboarded, the major hospitals in Eldoret, still remains a challenge to us. And all along, Chair, now that the hospitals are the third party, the person we are dealing with is the contractor. So sometimes what we do with hospitals is reach out to them because we have we have been having a discussion with them all along.
Yes.
But really, you can't push an hospital when the contractor, the person you contracted, is the one supposed to bring on board those hospitals.
What do you wish us to do for you?
I have a question on
No,
that statement.
order, Honorable Member. We are done.
It worries me, Honorable Chair.
Order.
You
We are
know,
done.
he's saying,
We are done, Honorable.
accommodate just this one, Honorable
Yes.
Chair. He's saying that we go an extra mile to talk with the hospitals on behalf of the contractor. I'm wondering, is that procedural? Is that their business?
Are they part of the contractor? But
Yes,
just conclude. That's a concern not for you to answer.
Yes, Chair. Yes.
And I want to ask you, that is it. Yeah, I think it's framing. Have you heard the members well? Kindly,
Yes.
as you conclude, answer the questions direct. Is that in kind? That extension is in kind or in care of the patients?
Just as a concern to our patients, which is our staff, when the service provider has failed, what we do is to confirm, why are you suspending services to our staff? So it's a point of clarification from their side. Why are you sending away our staff when they come? And the issue has been, Chair, that they are handling those issues with the Trident. So that's why we do letters now, demands to Trident to finish their issues with hospitals and have our staff get services. On the issue of blacklisting, Chair, we have not received any written communication that they have blacklisted. Normally what they tell us is they are suspending the services of Trident. And not really blacklisting, because blacklisting, it means we will have even go as far as IRA having an issue with this. So they have just suspended. So we've not had issue that they've blacklisted, because that would have been an issue on our side. So, and the suspending, they have said what the hospitals have been telling us is they are in finalizing. Same to Trident. When we talk to them, they are saying we have a contract that we have signed and we are finalizing. So we've been trying to push to have them conclude and have staff get services as soon as possible. And then, Chair, when we were here also in the first, in our previous meeting, we mentioned that we were all, we had a delay in paying our obligation, in meeting our obligation. Because the contract stated that we were supposed to have paid the first installment.
You heard that,
yes,
my friend.
So partly,
what
Chair,
is your prayer?
Yes, so being this is the first quarter, and they are coming this week, we would like to address this matter with them one-on-one, because they have requested to come to our offices, address the matters that we have raised, and also meet the staff in terms of member sensitization.
What is out of order, Honorable Yes. Three months is over. From 22nd of July. From the 22nd of July when the contract was signed. October. November. Yes. When did you write the contract? 22nd of July.
2nd of July.
We have August. We have September. We have October. It is gone. And I've told you to avoid so many issues. I've just asked you, what is your prayer?
Simple prayer.
Simple. If you give us, you are going back to narratives. Thank you, Honorable. Can you have the CEO?
Thank you so much. As a department, we do acknowledge that the health of our staff is paramount for productivity and service delivery. Chair, as a department, we're going to ensure that we do our role and our part well. We also expect that the contractor to adhere to the contract, and we expected him to be already doing what is signed in the contract. My prayer, Chair. Okay, thank you, Chair.
You've swallowed your prayer. Yeah, he's communicating.
Thank you, Chair and members. So,
the Waziri, Madam DS has a message.
When Waziri will be completing, Chairman, I would like him to clarify to this committee whether it was the right thing to pay Trident in October, while already we had a petition the same. So that
Not only a petition, but implementation committee found out that they had breached the contract.
Yeah?
No, address me, Waziri. Proceed, Waziri.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to, I think, to answer to the question put forward by Honorable Deputy Speaker about the payment, so that I can go to the prayers.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was it right for us to pay? So, Chair, you know, in the first quarter, all the problems that we had, according to us, emanated from the non-payment, because there was, according to the contract, we were to pay the first quarter. So, and the challenge was non-remittance, so the money was not coming from Treasury, so there was a lot of delay when it came to that payment. So we want to believe that now that we have already done the payment on their part, Sweden should actually be obligated to give us the basic services that our staff requires. You know, Chair, we came from very bad experience of the other insurance firm, that we were even writing to hospitals to give our staff the services that they need. But now when this one came with that policy, that the director said it was the best one that we had never even interacted in the past. So we thought now that we have been, the angel has come, we shall not have any problem again in washing issue. But now, the issue of communication on the part of Trident is one thing. How I wish they can improve on it. Because if we write to them and they respond to us, we will even know the way forward. But now, you see my director saying that he has to call, he has to go to hospitals. We are actually in a terrible situation. So our prayer is that because you're going to interact with them, kindly let them interact with us. Because we are human beings, we don't have any problem. Let them interact with us. That is our prayer.
Thank you. Serious is candid.
Chair. You want?
No, you don't question. You don't discuss prayers. Yeah.
Chairman, you know, when it comes to prayer, if I'm praying to God and you hear my prayer, you cannot tell me that prayer of yours, you know. So because I'm actually talking to God directly. No,
Waziri, don't ask answer members.
So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Waziri. Honorable members, honorable the respondents, the department from executive, the clerks, and our team from the assembly. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for taking your time on a Monday full of duties, and they've taken your time to comply or appear before this committee. We are so privileged that all matters that you've raised and matters that we will be finding out will be binding. The resolutions of this House will be binding in due course. We all wish to have our staff get the best services ever, and our report will be aligned to getting the best service for our staff. I want to inform the respondent that should you have any other communication within before we impact on information on report writing, it will be of added value. If there's any other relevant communication you feel you want to, the time for this proceeding is still alive until we conclude with Trident and then until we get our report out. So we will also be in position to submit. We will submit through the clerk of the assembly. Any other communication that you feel it is important. For those many, the very good engagement, I want to thank members for the very committed service to the people of Uasin Gishu, and the concerns you've raised. They are valid, and the insurance and service to be provided for our people will be taken care of in a manner that this house takes fit for it to be done. Thank you. This meeting stands adjourned until the afternoon session for trading company. Thank you, Executive Arm. Today evening. Thank you. You are now free to leave, and God bless you.